if you weren't here last week, week one is available to watch back on photoboothmarketing.com/academy. And you just register for the free course and the video is there to watch back.
Last
Okay,
week,
great.
last week was really good. If you missed it, really good.
Thank you, Ursula.
I can't promise how good this week's going to be, but I know last week was really good.
No expectations, sir. Yeah. So this evening, we'll give it a few minutes just for everybody to join because there's quite a few registered, and I know that sometimes we get the times mixed up on the Zooms just with the time difference with us. Question on last week. Did anybody make any changes following last week's Zoom?
We will accept even a mindset change. We'll accept that.
Was anybody terrified after last week?
Was anybody feeling the overwhelm? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's normal. That's perfectly acceptable around here.
And you know what? If you weren't, there is something wrong because it is a lot. It is a lot to take on and it is a lot to think about. So that is one thing that we can hold our hands up and be accountable for, is that as entrepreneurs, we all get overwhelmed, especially with something so new and something that has so much information for you to digest and start to look at. Anna, did you have a look at the site after, or have you just not went near it again since?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you?
Yeah.
I'm here. I've been going to the website and checking up some information. Mm-hmm. I still know that I have a lot to learn.
Yeah.
In terms of questions, I might have 1,000, but honestly, I don't know how to start. We are just like, let's say, digesting all the information and all the changes that we might be able to implement and see how we can do that in here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what to do. There is so much information on that website that it is totally overpowering to even know where to start and begin. And the purpose of this series is 4 weeks of giving you, okay, last week was about the mindset and thinking a little bit differently and looking on the site and finding everything on the site. Tonight, I'm going to talk through branding and some basic strategies for your website, your social media, just to start those foundations so that you can go to the website, download some content and start to make small changes in your business that will start to make an impact long term. So it's a little building process, and you can't be expected to do it all at once. That is one thing. And I think Sammy said that last week. Anything that's on our site, I may have given training in 4 sessions, but there could be 12 weeks of work in that, or there could be 6 months of work in that for some people. The good thing is it's there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for you to take at your own pace. And every decision that you're making is for your business. We're here to guide you and say, here are some principles or ways to do this. But ultimately, you're running your business the way you want to run it for the reasons that you're running it. So hopefully tonight will be beneficial for you too, to just kickstart a little bit of marketing.
And also, don't underestimate, showing up and being here is a win. Yeah. Because the majority of people will not.
Mm-hmm.
They won't.
There was 99 people registered for this tonight.
99 people registered. There's 12 here, not counting us. So there's a perfect example of intentions and action not matching up.
That talks about compromise as well. So, how much you are compromised on your work and how much faith do you have on your business. If you want to keep up running and you want to keep up better, you have to look for support. We don't know all the answers. So
1,000,000%. And I could take this even further and say that we're doing these 4 weeks for free to give people an introduction, but 95 or more % of people will never join photo booth marketing simply because it costs money. That's a fact. We've done this for 8 years now. And I would say the people that are in photo booth marketing are the top 5% of the industry. I don't mean top 5% business wise. I mean, top 5% of, I want to do better. I want to make more money. I want to drive this forward, because the rest, so many people are happy doing what they've always done and getting what they've always got. They love their comfort zone. They don't want pushed outside it. They don't want to learn anything new. So many people are like that. So give yourself credit that showing up here and just opening your ears is still a win, because the majority of people will not do that. That's my take.
It's so true, though. And even if you look at any of the large coaches, like business coaches in the world, and they say they put everything on their YouTube channels because only 5% of people will ever take an action on it. It's quite scary. But I suppose I have learned over the years, coaching and mentoring in this industry, some people will do it and will turn up every week, like the A-star student. Like we have one on this call, Rhonda. I'm just going to throw you under the bus. But from the minute she started with us, she took exactly what we said and she implemented everything in her business every single week. And now she is starting to see the fruits of that come through. And it's taken 12 months and it hasn't been easy. Sure, it hasn't, Rhonda. It has not been an easy 12 months.
I would get frustrated, but I kept going. I would tell anyone, you have to practice and work on your business every day. Even if you can't do it every day, at least commit an hour of doing something.
And it's a
because
constant. Sorry,
you have to. No, I was gonna say you have to. I mean, I've been blessed to be able to message Sammy, George, Ursula, and just ask questions. And being in the group, ask questions. Someone will help you. Yeah. You can reach out to me. I don't care. If I don't have the answer, I'll tell you, like, I don't have the answer, but I'll point you to a video.
Thank you. Thank you for
Rhonda
that.
has actually watched every video on our site and she has taken action and she's done all the homework. So if there's ever anyone to ask, where can I find this? Rhonda's your woman.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And
You're
welcome. Like I said last week, it's quite a difficult thing to sell photo booth marketing, because buying photo booths and buying props or buying anything by definition is quite a lazy process. You hand over your money, you receive a product, the transaction's finished. By default, that's such a lazy thing to do. Just pay money for something, get something in return, and set it in your garage or your studio or a shelf, and you can point at it and say, that's where my money went, and that's it done. But it's really not that attractive, because A, you have to pay us money, and then B, we're giving you work to do, and C, we're pushing you outside your comfort zone, and it doesn't make you feel great initially, and like, that's really not an easy sell. People don't like that. It's like joining a gym and the first 5 sessions absolutely destroy you and you just want to quit.
What do you mean 5?
I don't know.
You're not supposed to go once and then you never go back.
Yeah. It's just that makes it quite a hard. People are so quick to buy a photo booth and be sold the dream and spend $3,000-4,000, which would pay PBM for a couple of years, and then go home and have that oh shit moment. This isn't working out how I wanted it to. So yeah, it's not that attractive, but ultimately, like going to the gym repeatedly, it's probably worth it in the end.
Yeah. We hope so. And for the people who do put the effort in and they do implement the training that we give them, they get results. We have seen it for the last 8 years, and the people who are prepared to commit and put that bit of time in, and you're investing in yourself and your business. But nobody said it's going to be easy, and it's definitely not. But please know that we are all here to help you. One thing I do find when people join, it takes them a few months to get used to the group and used to kind of the banter we have, and they're maybe afraid to ask us questions. I did have a lady come up to me at PBX at the women's conference and was like, I can't believe I'm meeting you. And I was like, okay. And she was like, I wanted to ask you questions. I said, let's sit down and have a coffee. And she was like, but you're too busy. And I was like, no, I'm here for everybody. I'm never too busy. And if I am too busy, I'll say to you, I'm really busy right now, but can I get back to you? And she was like, right, okay. Because that's what we're here to do. Drop us a message, drop us an email. We are here to help all of our members. So let's kick off and talk this week about branding your business and optimizing your marketing platforms to get the best out of them. So tonight I'm going to go through the very foundations of what you need in order to use the resources that we give you as part of the campaigns. Did any of you join last night's training on AI?
You
No,
couldn't
but
find
I started watching it, Ursula.
Angel was
We-
there. Yeah, it was really good. Kayla, really good.
We were not able to find it. We tried and we looked for it, and I didn't know where to find it. Is this recorded that I can see it?
It is recorded, but you should have had an email 3 hours before with a link to the Zoom.
No, I did not.
Anna, will you drop me an email with your email address so that I can check? Because sometimes people have unsubscribed from our mailing list, and it could have been like 6
Years
months
ago.
ago, a year ago, 4 years ago. And then when they join as a member, their email's unsubscribed, so they don't get them, or they're going into your spam. But let me check it. So drop us an email to hello@photoboothmarketing.com and we can check that for you.
Okay.
Also, George, would you drop the link to the Zoom, the direct link to the Zoom ebook in the chat?
Yeah,
Just the
absolutely.
direct link on
Yeah.
the site. And then if you click on that link and then hit download, it'll give you the Zoom link for next Tuesday.
Will do.
For
Thank
anybody
you.
else that needs
And
it. It's in
Anna, have you added me on Facebook?
No, not at Facebook, not yet.
Both of you add me on Facebook. I'm your customer service #1. If you need help, just message me on Facebook. That's the fastest way to get help.
Okay.
Don't
perfect.
struggle. Don't spend 10 minutes looking for something you can't find. Just message me.
I can vouch for that. He answers instantly.
The only time you will not get a response from me is I am unconscious.
for about
Unconscious.
3 hours
He
a
still
day.
will answer.
For about you'll get my time remember I'm probably 6 to 8 hours ahead of you, so you could message me and it'll be 2 a.m. with me and I'll still reply. So
Okay, we just follow you. Thank you.
yeah, no worries.
Sam is on demand for sure.
Jill, we're cutting you off.
Angel, you're getting blocked.
There's new people need Sammy's brain, Angel. You're going to have to start this one. So I have a short presentation to go through and then we can do some questions at the end. For any of you who did not do the AI training last night, it seemed to go down very well. It's not basic photo boothing. So this is why we're also running this series, because we do not want to terrify you guys when you have just started with us. But I do recommend that you go to that training over the next 14 weeks, because this is not changing in our industry. It is just going to get stronger and stronger. And the point of this series is to give you the foundations right through to experimental marketing in the later weeks. And we will be running our first campaign that I hope all of you can launch in your business. So go back.
The whole point's to reduce the fear of it.
Yeah. So I am going to screen share if I can. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm not paying attention. Yeah.
That's okay. Who's messaging you?
Angel.
Angel, you better be paying attention or I'm going
He just wrote.
this call.
He just wrote, "Don't block me." LOL. Angel, I would never block you.
So tonight we're going to talk about branding your business and optimizing your marketing platforms. And this week we're really talking about branding because it is one of the most profitable layers within your photo booth business. Many people start off in the industry and they create a logo and they create their website and they create their social media and they don't think about future-proofing their business. They look at what everybody else is doing out there and they create something similar. And I can tell you now that more than 80% of this industry, their brand is crap. And that means that when people do their research and see what other people are doing, then they start to replicate that and it doesn't get any better. But your brand is everything when you're starting out. You don't get paid based on how good your booth is or how much it costs or what it is you're using. You don't get paid on the software. You don't get paid on the amount of hours that you put into learning that software and putting that booth together and taking the perfect picture or creating the perfect AI. The truth is you get paid on how good your brand looks and feels when people see it. That is the very first impression of your business, and it is so important. So the difference between your brand, a brand, and a brand that can grow and sell. So if you are currently sitting with a photo booth business that is called Ursula's Photo Booth or Dave's Magic Mirror Hair or Lisa's Selfie Station, they're not wrong. They are startup businesses, but they create limits in your business, and they're going to struggle as you grow if you want to grow to become a bigger company offering different things and growing within your market. Why? Because as soon as you put your name in your brand and the word photo booth, you sound like a one person kind of part-time basis. Yeah, we do photo booths for $250. It's harder to sell a business later. And I always, if I'm coaching anybody one-to-one, the main objective for them is to look at, well, what's your exit strategy? Even when you're only starting out, do you really want to be doing photo booths in 20 years' time? Or do you want to build a business that you can sell and then move on to your next thing, or investments or properties or whatever that happens to be for you? It makes it harder to sell if you have a name and a product attached to it. It's hard to expand into multiple booth offerings or experiences because you're tying yourself to, I'm a photo boother, or I'm a magic mirror supplier, or selfie stations, which just talks like parties and drop-off booths. And it often attracts budget-friendly clients. So by putting the word photo booth in your brand, or using a product in your brand, or using your name, you're generally going to attract the person who does not want to spend more than $400 on a photo booth. It also makes you look local and small instead of premium. And it's not giving you a brand that you can actually scale into a business that is sellable long term. So when your name is in the brand, the business depends on you because you are your brand, and clients subconsciously expect small business pricing. It's really that simple. They think you are the photo boother down the street, that they can just go, oh, can you do this for free for me because it's for charity? Or can you give me a discount? We all want mates rates, or you just look like a lower brand, and that's what people will pay. So let's have a wee look at how brands are built to scale. The difference in the brands that you can see here on the screen, and let me tell you, all of these were bad brands before I got my hands on them. This one at the top is actually new, and he should be on this call, but he's not. And to be fair, he's a 17-year-old that is just about to launch his first business, so he might be at school. Jaden, if you're watching this back, I thought you should get a little bit of credit for your new brand. But these are brands that feel premium. They feel like a company when you look at them. So this is his new company. He could do anything. He could become a content creator. He could become a photographer. He could become an event planner. He's talking about capture code could be anything. It's not tying him into photo booths. It's not tying the business down into just weddings. It's not tying him into anything. It's a brand that can grow. The same, IMD Events is a premium high level brand. So instead of calling herself photo booth, she's using events because that could become event planning. It can be anything. It can grow. DJs, I've just wait. These feel like companies, not a person. You can add different things. So you can add DJ services, you can add content creation, you can add lighting, you can add a mini bar, you can add catering, you can add anything you want when you have a brand. And you can price much higher. So you would not expect to go to IMD Events and pay $500 for a photo booth because the brand is luxury, it's high end, and you're going to expect a premium service from them. So your brand should also attract the type of clients you want, not the clients you're trying to escape from. Now, don't get me wrong. If you are running a business where you want to do volume and you have nailed down the profitability and volume, so say, for example, you have 40 booths going out a week at $450 and you have one person going and dropping them off and your overheads are low and you're making profit, that's fine. And you can have a lower end brand to attract that type of client if that's the business you want. But I generally try to push people into a brand that is scalable and sellable. So where your brand needs to show up. You don't need to be everywhere. but you do need to show up properly in the right places for the target audience that you're trying to attract. So the core platforms for 2026 that I generally push with our members would be your website, first and foremost, your Google My Business profile, your Instagram profile, Facebook for weddings and parties only, if you are going after that target audience, LinkedIn, and email marketing, because this is the one that always gets overlooked, and it is the one that I use the most because it converts more highly than any of the others. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. I've put an example on this screen just to give you an idea. This is my star student at the moment, just because this person has been in business for 10 years. The booth at the top here, this was his original logo, and he's called Bright Booth Photo Booth. And he had the big inflatable enclosure in his brand and the little circle around it. And all we did with him was just debrand him. That's what it's called, debranding. So we basically streamlined it all back, give him a really nice icon, give him new fonts, new colors, and positioned him differently. So this is how he now looks. And in the last 12 months, he has seen a massive flip in his business where it used to be 70% bridal, 30% corporate. It's now the other way around, and he is making much, much more money. So the first thing to look at is your website. This is your shop front, and this is your conversion engine. You think about your shop front. We sell a luxury product. A photo booth is not the first thing on the list for any event. Nobody is organizing an event and the first thing that comes up at a planning meeting is, oh, we have to have a photo booth. It's not. It's a luxury item. And so we are down that list. Your venue, your entertainment, your food are always going to come first. Because we're a luxury item and we should be over the $500 mark, you need to think about your brand and your website like a luxury store. So are you going to buy a pair of Jimmy Choos out of the shop if the windows are filthy? No, you're not. If you walk into a premium store, are you surrounded by reels and reels of clothing? No, you're not. You're given small amounts to choose from that make it feel luxury, that make it feel premium, so that you want to buy. And there's a psychology behind this, where when you walk into that premium store and they only have 3 jackets, one is a small, one is a medium, and one is a large, because that is it. That is all they sell. And they don't overcomplicate it. And everything is put in colors so that your eyes are drawn to it and it's easy to buy. That's how your website has to be. Your website needs to be a user experience. So when someone lands on your website, they need to know who you are, what you do, and where you service. They then need to understand the types of events that you service, the services that you offer, and the experiences that you offer. In that order, so that you are bringing the user and the buyer on a journey through your shop front. If social media disappeared in the morning, what are you left with? You're left with your website and you're left with an email marketing list. They are the most important things in your marketing, but yet everybody has them last on the list. It's the last thing to get looked at. It's the last thing to get updated. And ultimately, it should always be the first thing that you touch every single week. So let's look at 3 ways you can optimize your website. Clear positioning. So when I land on your website, above the fold, I want to know who you serve, where you serve, what makes you different, and a call to action. So literally in that first top fold on your website, you need to tell me who you are, what you do, why I need you, and how to contact you. So example, luxury photo booth experiences for modern weddings in Texas. Not, we hire photo booths for all occasions. Because there's also no one searching for that. And you're never going to get found. So you need to tell people who you are, what you do, where you service. And do not be afraid to ask people to take action on your website, whether that's call us, contact us, book a free consultation, download our ebook, get people to take action on the website and make it as interactive as possible. Show results and not equipment. Clients do not care about your booth. They do not care what it looks like. They do not care about the start screens. They do not care about the landing pages. They do not care about templates, because these are all technical things that we talk about within the industry. The client wants a photo booth. They want pictures of people having a great time. They want to see packed dance floors with the booth in the corner. They want to see beautiful backdrops with people in front of them. They want to see happy couples. They want to see something that is going to resonate with them, to show them what you can do for them. They don't know what a DSLR camera is. They don't care about the print speed. They don't care about the features in your software. They just want a photo booth, and they want to have a great time with your photo booth. So start to show more output. Start to show more people enjoying themselves. Start to show the actual guest experience rather than the tool that you use to give that experience. Because I think a lot of us as photo booth owners forget we're a service provider. Show the service. Show your happy clients. Show the people having a great time, and show the quality of your work. Make it easy to inquire. Short inquiry forms. I was doing website reviews this week. I've only 2 left. If you did submit one last week, I've only 2 left on the list, and I'll get them finished tomorrow morning. Anybody else who wants me to review their brand and their website, there is a link in this presentation that you can click to book that with me as well. I went onto a web page and I had to scroll for 3.5 seconds to get from the start to the bottom of their inquiry form. Other than them asking me for my passport number, literally, it was just like, you do not need all this information. What you need is someone to contact you and give you basic information. What's your name? What's your email address? What's your telephone number? What type of event are you having? And the date, so that you can check availability of whatever stock you have, or whoever you could maybe try hire from or white label to. But other than that, that is all you should need on your inquiry form. The more information you ask people for, the less chance you have of them completing that form. The other thing is to have an instant download of a brochure or a lookbook that has starting costs on it. It doesn't have to have full pricing. It could just be prices starting from on like the print booth page or the digital page. People love that. And clear pricing guidance or starting prices. I do not advise having full open pricing on your website, just because every client is different and every client's needs are different. So although for weddings, say for example, we have standard pricing for digital only, print and 360, there's then additional add-ons that go with those. And our core thing is always to book them at the basic service and then upsell. For others, they include that in their packages. And it starts to get really messy and complicated, and then you lose clients because they don't really understand what they're getting or what they're paying for. Whereas if you keep it really simple, sell them what they need and then upsell them once they're booked. But clear pricing guide, as in prices starting from $500 or $650 or $750, is always a good thing, because they do like to have an idea. And also, if you're higher end and you are charging $1,000 or $1,500, you don't want people inquiring that don't have the budget, because they're wasting your time and it's customer service you're not being paid for. So clear pricing guidance or starting prices is advised. Again, just keep away from the features of the service, because they don't make any sense and the client doesn't care. Google My Business. So can I get a show of hands just who is using their Google My Business profile?
Angel, Caleb,
Anna.
Rhonda. I'm flicking pages here.
I have it. I have it, but for some reason, I don't know if anyone else is getting calls for people to take passport photos. So yeah, I spoke to my Google person that I do the Google ads with as well. I'm like, why am I receiving calls for people, you know?
So you have your list, you have your profile listed as photo booth as your first category?
Yeah, well, that's something I want to discuss with you guys eventually. Is like, how do we go inside and change some stuff around? Maybe when I first started it, I did it wrong.
No, you didn't. Google has it listed wrong and has done for the last 30 years. So Google lists photo booth companies. So if you use the first category on Google My Business as photo booth, you are listed as a passport photo booth.
Yeah.
Because that
Okay.
was originally what photo booths were as a business. It was to go and get passport photographs taken. So it is recommended that you have it as a secondary service rather than first. So your first service should be like event planning or event entertainment, that type of thing. And then photo booth and any other services you do as a secondary service so that you're actually found for wedding planning and parties and that kind of, or corporate events. That's why you will get people coming and asking, do you do passport photos? No, we don't. But Google My Business is massive and there's lots of reasons for it. The first reason is it's free. It is free to use. It is free for you to use every single day, and it does help to optimize your well, it helps with your SEO, but also to get you ranking on Google Maps. So
Well, would I put it as first entertainment agency and then photography service?
or you could do event planning, photography.
I'm sorry, you cut.
So you could have it as event planning and
Yeah.
then photography, event management, photo booth, and you could even go as far as marketing services just because you do quite a bit of corporate. So when someone finds a Google business profile, these are clients with buying intent. They are actively searching for photo booth services in your local area. You want to make sure that you show up. How you show up using your Google business profile is to use it regularly. And what I say to any of our members is use Google My Business the way you used Facebook 10 years ago. You should literally be posting as often as possible. You should be keeping your content relevant and up to date. You should be on Google My Business at least twice a week minimum for your business. And the first ways to optimize it is add 30 to 50 real event photos, not the booth, doesn't have to be the booth, no empty setups, real people enjoying your service. Ask every client for a review and always send review links the morning after an event, or have a QR code with you at the event. And after someone uses the booth and is waiting for their print, ask them to leave you a review. Make it easy for them. And then use keywords for SEO. So make sure that everything you're writing on your Google business profile, whether that is updating the actual profile in terms of who you are, what you do, and where you service, or you're adding a post, or you're answering a Q&A, or you're replying to a review, make sure that you're thinking about what people are searching for and keeping it location based. So for example, wedding photo booth in New York, corporate photo booth hire, Dallas, luxury photo booth experience, Canada. You know, look at what it is that you're trying to target, where that target audience are coming from, and make sure that you localize it. Anna, go ahead.
Sorry, Anna, I muted you. You'll have to unmute yourself.
Okay, I'm here. I have a few questions. We are paying off Google Ads as well, and we have for Google Business. We are in Florida. We have few calls from California for doing events in Orange County, and we did have one from Canada for a corporate event here, and that we were able to close. Now, the thing is that we are receiving so many calls from a third party from Google asking us to work for us. Is that normal?
Yeah, absolutely. You'll get them all the time. And I get Google agents phoning me all the time saying they'll redo my website and make it better and all this. Stay away from them. They're just sales calls.
So we are allowed to say always no and keep it up the way that we are working with it, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Most of the time you'll find they're just spam marketing agencies that are trying to sell you something that they can't do properly anyway.
And what about the third party that Google is paying? Because they have been even calling me to my personal numbers.
Yeah. But Google don't actually hire any of these people. That's what they tell you.
And how come they can find my information, my personal information?
Well, because our information is available quite freely everywhere on the internet. You don't have to go digging too hard for it. But so many of these companies are using like AI bots to dig down into information. Like I get spam emails, I get spam postal, I get spam text messages because I mean, even if you have a phone contract, your information is available. And so that's where they're getting it from. But generally, stay clear of them.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that.
When you're using your Google business profile, Google is ranking on relevance and activity. So make it relevant to who you are, what you do, where you service, and be active on the profile a minimum of twice a week. Make sure that you have optimized the profile and completed all the sections in terms of your opening times, your contact number, your email address, your website. Make sure all of that information is complete. Then Instagram. Instagram is where you're building the visual brand for your clients to find you, and it is where everyone goes to look pretty and to engage with brands. It's not necessarily where you're going to convert. You can convert for weddings on Instagram, and we have had enquiries even for corporate through our Instagram, but we have two separate brands and two separate Instagram accounts that are very specific. It's about building your brand. So brand awareness, essentially. And it's also about building that perception on price. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're building an Instagram account that makes you look higher end, that makes you look professional, that makes you look fun and also approachable. So you want to make sure that this is where you're telling your brand story. You want to use one consistent voice. Please do not let it be an AI voice. Let it be your brand voice. Similar tones, consistent editing so that people start to become aware of it, because you have to touch someone 9 times before they buy. So if you're consistent in how you write and how you look visually, if you're using the same brand colors, people start to recognize the brand. And so the brand awareness starts to grow. And then they see that you're a credible organization. And so then they're more likely to book with you over someone who they haven't seen as often and aren't aware of. Use reels as much as possible. So put together little videos. If you're at events, try to capture some content on your phone so that you can put little snippets together. Those moments of people using the booth, people happy, use that and mix it in with some of our videos. The members who win with us are the ones who take the content that we have done and mix in some of their own content with it so that it kind of localizes it. And then your actual profile at the top. So make sure that you have a strong bio at the top of the page. Luxury photo booths, Manchester, modern weddings and premium events, check availability. Give clear ways to contact you. So that could be email, phone, or a direct booking link. Excuse me. And just ensure that your Instagram feels like a mini website. This is your brand story in pictures, essentially. The other thing is to use Instagram stories every day where possible. And I know a lot of you go, I don't have enough content to do that, or what do I say? Take the content on our site. When we originally launched, we had a very specific marketing plan for every member. And that was why on our original plans, people had 20 images a month, because that gives them one image every day, 5 days a week to post in their Instagram stories. So use the content, put it out there. You now have much more in terms of images, so you can be putting out regular content and just look busy. Instagram is very much about perception, brand awareness, and brand positioning. Facebook is not dead. especially for local audiences, for weddings or community recommendations. So the best ways to use it is pin your best posts to the top of your page, link your Instagram and your Facebook so that Instagram is posting to Facebook for you. Add photos, drive testimonials on your Facebook group page, and have clear calls to action. Don't be afraid to ask people questions. Get them engaging, get them commenting, get them sharing content. Fun, shareable, relatable content really works on Facebook. If you're using your Facebook for bridal, we literally built a 10,000 following on Facebook using stupid memes. Didn't we, Sammy?
Yeah.
And the branding person in me was grinding her teeth at night, but I know that that's what that audience want to see. You know, which bridesmaid's going to get engaged this year, and names on a grid, people tripping at the altar, cats walking down the aisle with people. You know, that is the type of content that people engage with, but you still have to mix in the good content for your own business, which is why it's good to share from your Instagram so that you're having a mix of content. Have a look and see if you can find any local wedding groups and stay active in them, but be helpful. Don't sell. Help people that are looking for a florist or are looking for a makeup artist or haven't quite found their venue yet. Don't be spammy and just constantly selling. The more helpful you are, the more chance they're going to ask you, well, what do you do? Or for you to have the opportunity to sell to them. On Facebook, also use albums. So if you are only starting out, we did this with Sammy's wedding business. It was in his contract that all images from people's weddings would be displayed in an album on our Facebook page. And we just had it in the terms and conditions when they signed their contract. And then we sent that album on to the bride, who then, of course, tags all her friends, who also shares it on her Facebook page, who is fantastic marketing for your business. Now, if you are one brand and you're doing weddings, corporate, and the likes of Christmas parties, then you want to make sure that you have separate albums for those things as well, and just make it really easy for people to browse through and see your work. LinkedIn, for anyone who is not aware or does not use LinkedIn, it is not something to be afraid of. LinkedIn is basically Facebook for business. It is a corporate goldmine. Most photo boothers ignore it until they have done training with me. And then they realize how much potential there is in LinkedIn. This is where the corporate buyers live. LinkedIn, when it started, was a recruitment site. It was used by recruiters who were trying to headhunt people, which is why we all have our CVs on our personal page. As the years have grown and as the platform has grown, there is so much more to it now. It's so much more in depth, and it has become the Facebook of the business industry, where business owners and professionals will go on a daily basis to read articles, to get involved in group sessions, to go to online events. So it's a really good networking platform. But you have to remember, it is a social media platform. It's not just about getting in there and posting stuff that is selling your business or selling yourself. You want to position yourself first and foremost. So I always say, when you're starting out on LinkedIn, concentrate on your personal profile and growing your network on that profile and growing your connections on that profile. Position yourself as an experience provider, not a photo booth rental company, because that is not what brands want. They want an experience provider. For corporate event engagement specialist or corporate event planning, look at the things that corporate are looking for. Just do not use the word photo booth rental, because it just takes you back to that $500 booth. Connect with event planners, marketing managers, HR managers in your local area. These people all have profiles. So LinkedIn gives you the opportunity to decide, who do I want to work with? Find those people and start to nourish those people, engage in their content, send them a follow-up message, and get to know them and do business. Excuse me 1 second, I'm just going to cough. So content on LinkedIn, you want to be sharing case studies of the work that you have done, Or you can put out new experiences that you're launching within your business, showcase results for a client, and really things that are engaging for brands. So talk about brand awareness, branded booths, data capture, content creation, the things that corporate clients want and will give them return on investment. Talk about galas, talk about trade shows, talk about festivals, talk about the things that the brand managers that are hanging out on LinkedIn want to see. And then my favorite, email marketing. So if everyone's Instagram disappeared tomorrow, would you still have access to your audience? And that is the scary reality. At any point, social media can go down. So make sure that you're collecting email addresses at every event and you have a disclaimer on your booth to use them for marketing. Ensure that you are using lead capture forms on your website so that you're capturing those email addresses. Go to networking events. Instead of giving out your business cards, take other people's. One of the best things that I ever do is when I'm at an event, I say, oh, I've run out of business cards, should give me yours. Because I'm capturing that data, which then means I'm in control of communicating with those people instead of waiting on them communicating with me. Send emails minimum on a monthly basis. Sorry, 1 second. Night.
Go to bed. Get to bed. It's past your bedtime.
That's the big son. Send monthly emails, minimum monthly. But once your business starts to take off and your marketing starts to kick in, you really should be emailing on a weekly basis. But keep those emails engaging and educational. Don't sell in them. So it could be like video trends for 2026, and then recent events, and then like a new service or most popular service, but it would be third down. So you're subconsciously selling without selling. If it's weddings, wedding tips at the top, our recent weddings or our newly married couples, venue recommendations, and then a real life event, and then something like top service for brides for spring 2026. Keep it really informative. Give information that people want to read so that it increases your open rate, and make sure that you have calls to action on those emails. So for example, with corporate, it could be planning an event for spring, summer, book a free consultation with us. Or for bridal, it could be a call to action that is specific for that month with a fear of missing out. So it could be a bonus or an enhancement to your wedding. It doesn't have to be a monetary discount. It can be something that enhances the wedding, but it's only available until the 30th of March. So really think about how you're positioning those emails. And there's no excuse anymore. You know, when I worked at a marketing agency, it used to take a week and a half to plan out a full marketing campaign. I can now do that in an hour and a half using the AI tools that we have available. Now, I'm not saying that any of you can do that in an hour and a half, but I can train you to get you to be able to do it in a half day for weddings and a half day for corporate. And that is not a lot of time. That is 6 hours of your life a week to do all of the things that you need to do to market your business every single week. The great thing about email marketing is you own that data, you own those customers, you can communicate with them as often as you want, and you can stay top of mind. So even when you're using LinkedIn, you can connect with people and gather their information and start to nurture them. They might not need you right now. They might not need you 6 months from now. But when they do, they're going to book you because they've been having that email every week and they're not getting it from your competitors. It's the same with bridal. When someone reaches out to you and they're not getting married until 2027, you're not going to follow up that lead every week from now to 2027. You just pop them into your mailing system. They get your newsletters regularly. And then 6 months out from their wedding, you contact them to see, are they still thinking about having a photo booth? People generally will book the vendors that stay top of mind because you're making it easy for them as well. So a little exercise this week just to reset your brand and to start to position all of the marketing platforms that you have available to you. First question is, does my brand attract the client that I want in my business? So look at your brand, be critical of your own brand, and do not be afraid to think about making changes. Would I pay my current prices based on how my brand looks? So look at your website, look at your socials, look at your brand, and think like the customer, not the owner. Does my business look scalable? Have a look at your business and have a look at what it is you want within your business. Some of you might not want to scale. Maybe you just want to grow the current clientele that you have, or you want to grow in the market that you're in. Like, it has to be the right decision for your business as well. If I remove my name, would it still stand strong? So look at what you have called your business. Look at how that impacts on your business and really evaluate it. This is your permission to reset. If your brand is not right, if you're not happy with it, if you would not have it tattooed on your shoulder or slapped on the side of your car, then it's not good enough. That's the ultimate thing. If you had to get your car wrapped in the morning, are you proud enough of your brand to do that? Because if you're not, then it's time to look at it now. I have worked with too many businesses that are, it's usually about 3 years in that people realize their brand is wrong, but 3 to 5 years, and they're like, oh my God, I have to start all of this all over again. It's not a bad thing. There's companies all over the world that are rebranding on a yearly basis. Google rebrands every day when you go on, and it has little icons or it's doing little things. So sometimes it's about rebranding, sometimes about debranding because there's too much clutter going on in a brand, or sometimes it is a full rebrand that is needed, and that can mean name, everything from start to finish. So have a look at what you have in your own business right now, and if you're happy with it. So the key takeaways are, you don't need more equipment, more discounts, more hustle. You need stronger brand positioning. You need a clearer brand, and you need smarter optimization of the platforms and the marketing tools that are available for you and your business. Clients don't always want the cheapest booth. And you hear this all the time. If you go into any of the photo booth Facebook groups, it's, oh, all these cheap people are running us down. Cheap people have always been around. There's always going to be someone who is cheaper than you. And there's always going to be a customer for them. But it doesn't have to be your customer. It's up to you to decide which customer it is you want for your business, and ensure that your brand has the right look and feel to attract that customer. So just a final note. Premium clients do not look for the cheapest booth. They look for a brand that feels right and is the right fit for them and their needs. For anyone who would like me to review their brand and their website, this is a clickable link that you can get off the presentation under the Academy when I add this presentation and the video tomorrow. So I will stop sharing and take some questions.
I think there's a few people came in there late, just an hour late. That's just the time. People get the times mixed up. If you've just arrived, you're very welcome, but we're almost over. You can always watch it back. Don't worry.
Yeah, thank you. I was at yesterday's meeting, so I thought that it's gonna be
Thought it was
at the same time.
That's a totally. That's
a very valid excuse.
That's a valid assumption. To be fair, yes, we switched the time up. So
Yeah, I asked the question
Almost over.
in the chat yesterday, but the meeting ended before I got the answer. So,
okay.
yeah, sorry. I'm gonna be on time next time.
That's fine. Don't worry. Look, you can always watch it back. There's loads of people can't make it live, so it's not that's very normal.
Yeah, I'm also based in Europe, so.
Yeah. Where are you at in Europe?
North Macedonia.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. Anna was asking the link, Anna, that was for the website review, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the presentation. I'll pop it into the chat so that you have it as well.
Where will the presentation be, Ursula?
Under Photo Booth Marketing Academy and the PBM Profit Builder course is on the, so last week's is already on there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, she needs her pages and brand checked. Kiana has one. I think that's Google My Business she was talking about. Maya, am I saying that correctly? Correct me, please. Because Khaled's already corrected me on how I said his name. I was calling him Khaled, which is wrong.
Khaled.
It's Khaled.
I actually get Khaled right. It's not like me.
That's not like you, Ursula, because you will call anybody. She'll call anybody literally anything. It's a lucky dip when it comes to your name with Ursula.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, it's like DJ Khaled, but I'm photo booth Khaled.
And you know what? And I knew that, and I didn't remember, so it's on me.
I've been telling you since 2017, but
listen, it's only been a little while.
To be fair, I only know because my friend is married to somebody called Khaled.
It's true. You told me that. It's true.
So.
I'm just gonna go with Maya. Mia. Correct me, please. Mia. Yeah. Okay. Mia. Got it. How much should a decent website cost to start up, Ursula?
Well, I do websites and I do branding, and my basic website is $1,250, and that is the most cost effective that I could deliver it, because we do not make any money out of it. That is me paying a designer and a developer. We do not make any money on it. I just manage them and you pay them directly. But that was the cheapest that I could get them done properly. If someone is going to do you a website for $500, the chances are there will be no on-site SEO. They will not understand the industry, and you will have to do your website again in 3 years' time.
Been there, done that, guys. I'm telling you, I redid my website 4 times. I learned it the hard way. Pay the right person, pay the right price, do it once, do it good.
Yeah. Our website for weddings cost $2,000, and our website for corporate was $1,500 sterling. That's sterling. So
that's
$3,000 and about $2,000 for the wedding site. We get corporate inquiries through Booth NI, and we just forward the email in the Media Lab, and I reply. And nobody has ever said, you weren't the company I inquired with.
Well, they got a reply. They're happy they got a reply with somebody.
Yeah. So
just to give you an example, today we received a lead. How we get our 5-star reviews and everything is that we instantly reply. You know what I mean? Within 5 minutes, they get a call, they get an email, something. They're getting an event at the Ritz. The Ritz, you have money. You know, one of the questions I ask is, I don't want to judge someone by where they do their event, but at the Ritz, and they're asking for 360 photo booth, and they want the 3rd hour for free. I'm like, no, we're sticking to our prices. We're not moving. It is what it is. And if you can afford the Ritz, I'm sorry, you can afford us. I'm putting my foot down.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Mia, do you really want reviews, good, bad, ugly, from guest attendees, or the client only?
You want reviews from everybody that you can get reviews from. And you don't want bad reviews, because you're not going to deliver a bad service. So that will never happen.
A drunk person can leave a bad review because you told him no more photos, we're packing up. He can easily leave a bad review. And I've been there, done that. That's when I promised myself I'm never gonna ask them, because me used to be in the when they get the photo with PhotoMaster.
Post, yeah,
so
after.
With the message. No, with the text message.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Like, leave us a review. I got a few nice reviews, but you know, the drunk guy that you know, we told him enough is enough and we had to pack up and leave. He didn't like it and he left a bad review. That affects, unfortunately. I would say keep it like genuine from people that actually booked us, you know?
Yeah.
Build slow.
I know when I read business reviews, which I'll be honest, I don't do that a lot, but if a business has got 50 good reviews and there's one scathing review, I just automatically think that person's a prick.
Yeah.
You just know the problem's the person. Most reviews are overwhelmingly positive and you get one scathing reviews. And the good thing about those types of people is they usually out themselves in the review, where by the time you finish reading it, you go, you've already self-explained that you're just a prick. Bitching that you didn't, you know, if they're silly enough to actually write in the review, oh, I wanted another picture, but they were closing. most people with a brain can identify, get a real problem, you know? That's my opinion. But that's not to say you still want them, but.
And here's the thing, it's how you respond to review. I have worked with businesses that actually use bad reviews to gain better PR. Because if someone has a bad review, when you go to say you're booking a spa weekend, you go and look at the reviews. I don't know about any of the rest of you, but I always go to the bad reviews before I go to the good reviews because I want to see when was it posted and what was someone saying. And I want to see how the business has responded to it. So I have worked for businesses where their PR campaign is basically to out the people leaving them bad reviews. So see the drunken guy, I would have responded to him to say, "Oh, it was fabulous to meet you on Saturday night. We all know you had one too many to drink. I'm sorry that you felt you had a bad experience, but everyone else had a great time." Like, but if that's your brand voice, the difference is, Khaled, that is not your brand voice. It is our brand voice.
It's not, but in a way, responding in a direct way like that is not how, I got it rectified, by the way. I went to the company. I'm like, do you know this guy? Is he one of your employees? Why did he leave us a 1-star review? Yeah. The thing is, he didn't write anything. He just went and slapped a 1-star review.
Yeah.
So he didn't even leave anything for you to comment on.
Super lazy.
But you also get people who, you will get competitors that will leave you reviews. You will get people who just dislike you as a person leaving you reviews. It's how you handle it.
It's a bit low if I think that ethically, I think there are sharks in my city, but the ethics are there, and it's it's not that small. We're a few million people here, but I'll find them. look at my beard. I'm known in the industry as, when I walk in right now, I have this, but usually I have my Bluetooth. And when I have my Bluetooth, people think I'm a bodyguard or I'm a bouncer or whatever. They don't associate that I'm the owner of the photo booth company. When I do my own setups, I'm there, they think I'm just an employee, but they're not the one. They don't know I'm the one behind the phone. When they call, I'm the one answering. Yeah. That being said, I'm known in the industry. People know me. I'm not gonna say people fear me. I'd like to hope that people respect me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mia, you're asking about the contract wording for the use of Facebook album images. Look, that's been years since we've done that. So
the other side of it is, I am not qualified to give legal advice, and every state is different. So what you could do is start by using AI to write something for you and then have it checked legally in your own state. Anything accountancy or legal, I do not touch because I am not qualified. I am qualified in marketing. I am a qualified business coach, but I am not qualified to give you legal or accountancy advice.
Alex, well, we all calling some big numbers. How can I get them type of numbers for my small market in the Bahamas? What numbers were they, Alex, we were talking about? Can you talk?
Yes, I mean, for like y'all wedding events, so y'all call 2,000, 1,500.
Yeah.
But back here, our margin isn't that big.
Yeah.
We only have like 500 people here, 500,000 people here.
Yeah.
So it isn't that big.
It's kind of like our market. We live in an incredibly small market too.
And here's the thing, though, you can be the most expensive in the Bahamas. And don't be afraid to do that. I mean, I launched a photo booth company with a friend out in Aruba, and we put her at premium pricing. And there was 3 other people on the island who all do exactly the same thing. But then it comes down to your service and the quality that you deliver. Yes. And you can command a higher price.
Yes. I think that's what set me different from everyone else, is the quality and the designs.
Yeah. And where you are as well, just make sure that you are friends with the planners, because the big money for you is in destination weddings. People that are coming in to spend hundreds of thousands of pounds on a wedding. Or it can be those ones that are eloping that just want something small and intimate for them and maybe a handful of guests. So there's plenty of opportunity, but just position yourself more expensive than anybody else in your market, better service, better quality.
Because there are people that will there's people that will just book something because it's more expensive. Absolutely. Those people are out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
The peop
in our case, we get to be Disney vendors as well. So we comply with everything that they ask, and believe me, it was an extensive amount of things that they asked us for. Even we had to put liquids for do fire retardant all of our backdrops in order to at least have the opportunity to be there.
Yeah.
And I remember that I was talking to you, Ursula, on the PBX, and you told us that our price were modest, that we should be able like to raise our prices.
Yeah.
And we have been working with that. But then again, how would I would know if my market will hold it? Because even Disney, that the cheapest weddings start at $35,000, they are asking us for discounts.
Yeah.
And I say, we don't give discounts. We can manage the amount of time that you're asking for, so we can handle that. But they don't see the value of it.
Yeah. And well, one thing that you can do is if it is coming down to monetary value, put your prices up slightly so that you can offer a discount and they feel like they're getting a discount, but they're not. That was our marketing strategy in our market here for the first 4 years, Sammy. There was $100 off every booking, but we put $100 on the price of every booking. Now we offer upsells like bonuses. So we'll upgrade you to a glam experience, or we'll upgrade you to a premium scrapbook, or things that don't cost us money, and you're already there and you're already doing it. But just look at the market and see what's working. Every customer is going to be different, and it's also about identifying what makes that customer tick. Some customers want the added bonuses and they want to feel like they're getting loads of stuff and loads of things. Other people just want a discount. Other people just want really good service. And one of the biggest sales techniques that Sammy has is to start a conversation with, we are the most expensive in Northern Ireland. Because then people in their head are like, is he trying to say I can't afford you? That's how he sells to people. He makes them think like, well, we're the most expensive. And if you tell me I can get this for £350 with somebody else, he will tell you. Well,
I just answer the phone now. Hello, expensive. How may I help you? I don't, but one of the first things, what I do is, one of the things I get in a conversation early is we don't do anything cheap or tacky. And it's quite a good trick because nobody's ever said, oh, well, I actually want cheap and tacky. So I've kind of already put it in their head that we don't do anything cheap and tacky. And I'm assuming that's not what you're looking for. And then they have no choice but to really agree with me. And then when they agree with me, well, that's why I charge a premium price. Because if you want, and I also say, if you want cheap and tacky, there's loads of other options in our area. I'm just not it. We don't do blow up guitars. We don't do neon wigs. We don't do ridiculous green screen backgrounds that's going to put you in front of the Eiffel Tower and Las Vegas and all these tacky things. That's not what we do. We do plain. And I also use the word classy and timeless. Those are two words I use in every call. We do classy, we do timeless. Our black and white glam's really popular. That's a black and white photo with a very slight beauty filter applied. We can also do those as color photos if you want. We normally use either a plain white backdrop or a plain black backdrop, and we don't do anything cheap or tacky. That's one of the first things I say is we don't do anything cheap or tacky. That implies that our product and service isn't cheap and tacky, and also that I'm not going to be cheap. And if you want those things, you've rang the wrong person. And I've yet to have a bride that says, actually, my wedding is totally cheap and tacky, so you're not for me. That has never happened in the history of saying that. So they either understand really quickly, okay, I get why this guy is more expensive, because other people aren't doing that. Other people are desperate for the sale, telling people, they're promising people the moon and the stars, and we can do everything. And I almost started off with, not a negative, but it's direct. We don't do anything cheap or tacky. I'm assuming that's why you've rang me, because you've saw what we do and we're already aligned. And that's quite a good way to start a conversation, to explain that you're premium and you're not going to be cheap. And you're also not going to move on your price, because people come to me specifically for that. So that's my sales tips.
Usually what we do, and I don't know if it's correct, we say, I totally get that you might have a budget, but we will not lower our price. We will lower the amount of time that we're going to be giving you the service. So, and I like a lot of the lines that you're having as of now. So
Yeah.
that's good. We have some other services that we offer besides the photo booth. So we have the Rain of Roses. We do have the Walk in the Clouds. We do have the what?
Cold Spark.
The Cold Spark. So we have added a few other services. So we try to use that as a like an extra. So I say, listen, this service costs you that much, but if you will book with us, it will be 50% less. If we have like a package, does that work as well? And will give us like positioning.
Yeah, it's added value, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, adding value.
Perfect. The other that we use is the video guest book. So usually, if they're asking for something else, we're going to be there anyways. So instead of lowering the price, we just say, okay, we're going to add to your service the video guest books, and that it has worked as well. But it's just that complaint that people say, oh, that's too expensive. And what are you looking for us to give you it for free?
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of the time, I will ask people the question, what is your budget? And they'll say, oh, I don't really know. And then I'll say, okay, well, would $1,000 scare you? I have to go, oh, I don't want to spend that. And then you say, well.
So you do have a budget.
Yeah. Our services start at $500. And then they'll say, oh, well, what can I get for that? And even then, you still book them at a drop-off booth. And by the time they get married, you've upsold them small things every single month to bring them up to that higher package anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Our service for Disney starts at $1,200, and still they to $150. It's actually the price.
She said 1,000.
And she said, "Oh, my budget is $1,000." So we just lower 1 hour,
And that's it.
and that's it. And she was happy about that. She was talking about the luxury flower, and we said, "Listen, we cannot change the backdrops that we have for Disney because they have to be in compliance with the FAR return," and they totally get it. But it's that part, like, why am I paying that much amount of money? Dude, you're doing a wedding for $35,000. How come 1,000 is not going to be enough for you for having memories of what you're doing down there? You're going to eat all your food. You're going to dance. In a few months, you're going to forget everything. And the only thing that you're going to have is going to be the pictures that you have from that day.
Yeah.
Anna, I have a question. I have a question for Anna. Anna, do you when you say you work with Disney, like Disney hires you for their brides that are getting married at their venues?
No, the people look for us through Google, but in order for me to work with Disney, I have to comply with everything that they have in the oversight district. So most of the ferry event planners, they already know about us, and they know that we are working with a few Disney events, and they will give our information to them, but they have to hire us. It's the bride or the event planner who is going to be calling us and do the work.
We have all the insurance and the license in order for work in the district in oversight.
I'm asking you this question is because if you're getting over X amount of events that you don't have to break your head to get those. I would use it as, okay, well, listen, to the planner, I would tell her, listen, usually I'm happy doing 3 hours for $1,000 just for you, but my regular price is this much. Let's agree to push it to the client for X amount, and you get to keep as a referral fee because you're working on volume right now. And I think that that's what you should concentrate on because you are a preferred vendor to them. At a certain point, if they don't like the price, they're just going to look for somebody else and tell them that you are certify the other competitors because, if you're getting 30, 40, 50 bookings with them a year, this is easier than fighting and arguing with a client for the money. They're going to vouch for you. I've lost clients because planners are getting a little kickback more from other vendors. So if you're getting it easier, I would say concentrate on volume, make sure that this money is still coming in. And I'm not going to say, be happy with what you got, but, someone else can come and take it if they get certified like you. That's my take on that. Don't take it with a grain of salt. I'm just, the recurring revenue from planners sometimes stay on good terms with the planner. Every 2-3 months, get her a bottle of wine, say thank you for referring us. We appreciate you. No, these things happen. They have to happen. Take them out for supper, take them out for lunch, take them out to a spa.
Spa treatment. They love spa treatment.
Yes. Take them out and pamper them. I can't do that. Okay. I cannot do that. It'll just look wrong. But I'm saying that because I have two of my team members tonight with us over here as well. And girls, you have to understand, become friends with the planners. Take them out to spa days. I'll pay it. It's going to be on me.
And another thing that I recommend doing is have preferred rates for your planners that are slightly cheaper anyway. So even some of the event management companies that we work with, we have standard rates for them so that when a client comes in, they don't have to phone us to get a quote. They know what a digital booth or a print booth is going to be because they have a set cost with us and they can charge the client whatever they want.
That godmother, we don't know. But now we know.
The thing is, we're gonna contact her because actually the first one they got to us through. Okay, let me explain.
Who did not?
We started our business on last August. So we are practically new. The thing is that we are moving forward to be the leader in the industry here in Central Florida. We are not afraid of working. We are moving forward. That's why we keep up with this. So far, I think that we are doing good, but we can do better. So that's why we're with you guys in this group and everything. This is the second wedding that we have at Disney. So the first one came through the knot, and this one came through a lead from Google. Okay. So they already know that we have all of that because we are using that as marketing for our company, that we are Orange County Public Schools vendor, and that we are also we have all the licenses to be part of any Disney event. So that is working for us because those two companies are very respected here in the Central Florida, and we're getting leads because of that information. So yes, indeed, Caleb, I'm going to take for granted what you're telling me about being grateful. We are also giving, as you said, Ursula, to some venues that has worked with us before, that pricing. So they're going to be able to do whichever game they want to do on top of our prices that we give to them. Yeah. So
I have one thing I want to add. Okay. I tried that, and maybe Ursula can shed some light on it. Sometimes when I do a drop-off booth and it's a 500 guest event, my nightmare is to come back and to see the photo booth dismantled in pieces in the middle of the floor. I know there's a contract, they'll pay for it. But again, it's because we're a service company, not just a rental company, not a drop-off company. We became who we are because of the service that we give. So I put an obligation. I started last year by, after a bad experience, drop-off photo booth over 100 guests, I have to have an attendant. Print photo booth over 150 guests, I have to have a second attendant to manage. Okay. Now I upped it this year to 150 for digital and 200 for print booth. That, over that amount, I would have to have either one attendant for digital only, and with print, a second attendant. What's your take on that, Ursula?
College.
These are problems we don't worry about.
These are things we don't even think about. Honestly, Sammy and George have dropped digital booths off at venues. Now we're in Ireland. You think about an Irish wedding. Most Irish weddings are between 125 and 200 people getting very drunk. They're usually drunk before the bride and groom arrive to be married.
If it can survive an Irish wedding, it can survive anything. Also, but Khaled, that happened once and then you changed your whole procedure and done this whole, I wouldn't count that as an issue because, again, my opinion is if you're not fucking up events, you're not doing enough. You have to expect some collateral damage at some point because McDonald's gets your order wrong 10 times a year. You still go back and eat the burgers.
True.
So, and again, it's a small business mindset of, oh my God, an event went totally wrong. If that happens, it's full refund the next day, an email to apologize, done. Next. Because if none of my events are going wrong at some point in the year, I don't have enough events. That's the problem to me. If I have a 100% hit rate of perfect events with no issues, I'm not doing enough events. I'm not making enough money.
Over 200 guests with a print booth. Would you put a second attendant?
Nope.
No, a second booth.
I'd love that, but sometimes you do large Indian weddings and there's 500-600 people.
Yeah,
that becomes overwhelming, and I don't want to burn my staff.
If they're going to have, if that is the case, then you could offer the a guest book and attended guest book service. So someone runs the booth and someone is taking the extra prints and running the guest book as a guest book experience and charge double the price for it.
It's okay.
Also, if it's a very large event with a large amount of people, the best thing I ever bought was a set of retractable stanchions. Ain't nothing like good old-fashioned airport crowd control. I'm serious. Right. They're the best thing I've ever bought. Like retractable stanchions.
Yeah.
In an airport. Yeah. I have 6 of those. They're in the van at all times. And if it's a big event, we go out and we bring them in and we cordon and section off our area and design it exactly as we want it laid out. And there's a tiny little entrance for a flow in and there's a tiny little entrance for a flow out. And we have complete control of that. People just can't swarm us and stand all around the booth. And best things they ever bought. Are they pretty? Not really. Are they absolutely functional? Yes. For that type of event.
Right. Thank you.
And all of a sudden, one person can manage 1,000 people because they physically cannot walk through a barrier.
Okay.
And we make the area as big or smaller as we want. I do the same with our 360s. I put 5 stanchions out in like a hexagon, join them all together, and I literally have a 2-foot space in and a 2-foot space out. It's the same in and out. But one of my staff can stand and block that space and not one person can come in.
Yeah. Right.
So that's my top tip. But yeah, we don't worry about that stuff.
No. And here's the other thing.
I'm not adding the hassle of trying to secure 2 staff when one would do and have double the cost because I had one bad experience 2 years ago.
But I also think about it in a way where it's easier for 2 to dismantle or to put up together. So when I send 2, putting up the backdrop, doing the test, me and my staff, we can put up a photo booth in 15 minutes. You know what I mean? Finalize, do the test, everything. But again, it's a question of going in fast, doing it proper, doing it right, leaving fast, getting the hell out of there is, when it's time.
I get it and I respect that, but those are just not concerns I have in my business.
Okay.
I pay my staff really well. Go, and if it takes you 45 minutes to set it up, so be it. You're not shoveling shit. It's a photo booth. It's not hard work. And that's, my staff are well paid and I've never had any problems. They've never come back to me and said, I don't feel like you appreciate me or you're not paying me enough.
Perfect. Thank you, Sammy.
George has gone out on his own to do massive events and does photos and videos while he's there too.
Yeah.
Like, who on this call is very happy with their branding and can hold their hands up and say they would slap it on the side of their car?
Abner, am I saying that right?
Yes.
On Snappic, if I download the caricature, will they still get to pick the regular photo, including the caricature as one of the experiences? I've never done the AI before. George, can you have a normal photo and the AI?
That's a great question. Yeah. We have designed this experience, most of the experiences with AI, as well as a photo with a virtual background. So people have options to choose just a photo, but the background is similar to actual AI output, so they'll still get similar experience.
It's a real photo of them with a virtual background, or they can have the AI option. Abner, to answer your question, yes, you can offer both at one event.
Okay, but it's gonna be on where how they pick the camera. So we'll have the option of let's say I got 2 templates, the 3 photos and the single photo, and will they have that option of caricature on there?
Yes, they'll appear at the bottom where the templates appear. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Correct. Yeah.
And they said because I was reading your chart, they said they got like 20 cents charge for doing that.
For AI, yeah, you have to buy credits for AI to generate the outputs, which is why you would charge more for that.
Yeah. Okay. I was just testing it out, but I haven't. It's like, okay, so that's what it is. I was just want to make sure before I start offering that to people. So
yeah, just put your price up. It should be at least $500 more expensive than your normal photo booth package.
yeah, instead of hiring caricature, we could do it right there.
Exactly.
And it's a lot faster.
Exactly.
And it's faster, and it actually works out more cost effective for them because they could spend $2,500 on having somebody there that is slow and doesn't get through everyone, and you can guarantee that everyone will get one.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. All right. Appreciate that. Thank you.
No worries. Mia, there definitely is guest book images on our site. Is there a video specifically for a guest book? Probably not. But there definitely is guest book images. George, remember the ones we done for?
There is a video for guest book, Sam.
Is there? Yeah.
Yeah, I remember a video for guest book.
Well, there you go. What's it under, George?
I'm looking for it right now.
George.
It was done a long time ago.
Yeah. No.
I think it's audio guest book. It says.
Right.
That'll be the one with the phones in it.
Correct.
But is there like a printed guest scrapbook?
I remember seeing a video with the scrapbook, or maybe it was
a video. There's a video one that they rent. You can't buy it, but it's you could just rent it out.
Yeah.
So
pictures, not audio. Yeah. They're physical scrapbook, George, you're looking for. Is it under every booth?
Remember when we did?
Or is it just under guest book?
I think there's only an audio guest book, but can't the software also allow you to do video?
There's definitely images of physical guest books.
Yeah, there's images, but I think there was a video, but it might have been part of a full wedding.
Yeah.
There's just some of the earlier wedding videos that we have will have guest books in them that you could take and you could snip in Canva.
Yeah, one of them is called Moving Up.
Right.
Moving Up. Yeah. I'll
put a link in the chat, George.
Yeah.
I think that's it. That's long enough, probably. Let's be respectful of people's time.
Yes, that has been quite long.
We've held them all hostage long enough.
You are released back into your business.
Yeah.
Hopefully that has been helpful. As we said at the start of the call, if you have any questions whatsoever, please reach out to myself, Sammy, or George. We're here to help you. Anything technical, hit George up, to George Bot. Anything at all, Sammy, 2 o'clock in the morning will help you. If you're struggling on the website, reach out to Sammy.
When the wife will be talking to me and you message me, and I'll just go, shh, shh. Just put my hand over her mouth. Quiet. Somebody just messaged me.
If you get a corporate client has inquired with you about a massive multi-day activation and you don't know where to start, I'm your girl. Hit me up. I can help you. Just do not be afraid of anything and don't be afraid of growth. All go off and start looking at your brands and your websites. And I'll be interested to see next week how you all feel about them. Anybody who wants that brand review, click in and just drop in the information into the Google form and I will have a look at it for you.
On our Zoom next Tuesday
is on sales.
Yeah.
Pricing.
Yeah. No, Tuesday member Zoom.
Oh, member Zoom next week is on AI, using AI as your business brain. And we have a guest speaker, Nicholas Rhodes, who'll be on that, who is excellent.
Yes. And remember, the Tuesday Zoom is 1 hour later than tonight's Zoom.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Ava. It's fine, watch it. But actually, you got 40 minutes anyway, so.
Yeah. And I heard a lot of useful things, so thank you.
Okay, no worries.